What's going on, everybody? We are live with the MMA Mainstream Podcast. I'm James, as always, joined by my co-host, Kaelyn. Kaelyn, how you doing?
Great. Another Friday.
Right? Exactly.
Finally.
And we have a special guest on today. We have Peter Wilson, training out of 805 Kickboxing. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me. Everything's been good.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. So, all right. We've had on quite a few guests lately. We want to learn about you. Tell us how you got into MMA.
Yeah, well, I played basketball growing up and took it very seriously in high school. Wasn't long before I realized I was just barely not able to play college ball. Just wasn't quite good enough. And then I just started noticing like I really need some sort of sport in my life. I can't just study or go to work. I need, sports are like the glue that hold it all together. And, I watched fighting growing up, and, that was really the only other option. Thankfully, by my school, there was a jiu-jitsu gym. Went in there. First day, I was like, there's so much I got to learn. I could see the scaling for the rest of my life. I just absolutely love this, and really been addicted ever since.
Now, where was that at? Because you talked about your first MMA fight was in New Orleans. So are you from the Central Coast? Or tell us like where exactly you're from.
Yeah. Lots of moving in my life. So I was born and raised on the Central Coast, and went to school in Pensacola, Florida for my first year of college. And I tried to play basketball there, didn't quite make it, still went to school there, needed some other sport. So I found that jiu-jitsu gym there, which is where I started. Went back to the Central Coast, kept training, joined the Navy, and my first duty station ended up being out there again. So I went back to that gym, and then I started taking it more seriously. I was like, all right, I want to compete. I want to test my skills, see where I'm at. And my next duty station was just a few hours west over in Mississippi. Found a great gym there, Alan Belcher's old gym, actually, or I guess the gym he currently runs and owns. And then fought out of his gym just over there in Louisiana. And that really started, after my first fight. It was a loss. I quickly wanted to redeem that. And then ever since then, I just wanted to keep the thing going.
All right. So I have a question. Since you were in Florida, did you have to grapple with any alligators?
Good question. I was fortunate enough to never encounter one.
That'd be pretty dope. Just saying.
Yeah, I like fighting, but I don't think I'd be that dumb. I'll give the alligator the win and just walk away.
You
said
Florida, they're everywhere.
Yeah. I still really want to go to Florida. I've never been there. I want to see what it's like. I don't want to see any gators though, but so you said your record was 5-1. Was that right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. So what weight do you fight at currently?
155 lightweight.
Okay. Have you always been that weight, or have you ever fought any other weight classes?
Technically I have. 155 is my home. There has been an instance where I fought at a catch weight for a late notice fight, which is at 165. And there was another time where I was scheduled at 155. The day of weigh-ins, my opponent didn't show up. They had a new guy come in, and we both weighed in, I think, just over 160. So it was supposed to be a lightweight bout, but last minute replacement. I was actually in the sauna cutting weight, and then we got the call he wasn't showing up, and we're like, all right, we'll stop here and we'll just deal with whatever comes.
Oh man, so you have a title from Valley Fight Series?
That's correct.
And how many were all of your fights in Valley Fight Series, or have you fought in other organizations?
Yeah, I've actually only had 2 fights in California so far. When I was in the Navy and then going to school, I was fighting in the South. So I've had a fight in Mississippi, Louisiana. Last May, we couldn't find anything in California because of COVID. So me and my coach were like, all right, screw it. We'll fly somewhere. And we ended up flying out to Chattanooga, Tennessee. So
wow, that's pretty far.
It is.
You are probably the most like well-traveled fighter we've interviewed so
That's
far in
great.
the amateur
Yeah, I like that.
ranks. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I've pretty much only fought in the same state twice. I was living in Washington at one point too, and had a fight up there. So I fought in California twice, and every other fight was a different state.
Yeah, I'm like, I think you could find something in like Arizona or somewhere closer.
Yeah, right.
No, that's
Yeah, it's
cool,
just
though.
the way it all worked out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would like to go over in that area just to see how like the talent is over there, because I know they have fights going on over here all the time, at least now because COVID's over. But I'm always interested to see like how fighters are over there. Maybe it's not even different, but I've always just been curious. But have you noticed any like, is any area more difficult to fight in than others?
More difficult would be hard to judge, but it's certainly
as far
different.
as like the talent that you are up against.
Yeah, I mean, there, like I said, when I was fighting out of Alan Belcher's gym when I was over in Mississippi, and they have just some very skilled people. We're talking about people who, as soon as they're 3-0 as an amateur, they'll end up going pro, and then they'll end up succeeding. They have a good pool of people around there, especially in that small little town of D'Iberville, and they just take it so seriously, and it's more brutal. That you're not wearing shin guards at all as an amateur. You don't have these first 3 fights with them, and it's way more grueling. They just train harder out there, and that translates into the ring just a little bit better. I maybe they don't have the longevity because they're not as safe, but right off the bat, it is a bit more intense.
Yeah, I've always struggled with wondering like what's better for an amateur fighter. Should you just throw them in there right away and not have all the, I know over here in California they have and not even just California, you have rules for amateur fighters. I think you do have to wear gear for, I don't know, however many first fights or whatever. I know you don't have to wear gear, but that's interesting. I've always wondered what's better, to just go in there and see what it's actually going to feel like, to be a pro, or what those leg kicks actually feel like without someone wearing a shin pad on there.
Right.
I don't know. I think both people that come from both areas can succeed, because for one, you're being protected in one, so you do have the longevity. And also on the other hand, you can get all the experience. You already know what it feels like, so you're maybe more prepared going into like turning pro. What are your plans as far as maybe being professional or a career? Is this a career? Is this a hobby?
Yeah, I guess it's somewhere in between. I always tell people I want fighting to be a part of my life. I don't want it to be my life. But with that said, I think I have some potential in it, and I want to take it as far as I possibly can. I do plan on going pro, but I'm certainly not going to rush it. I'm very aware of my abilities, and I'd be naive if I said I could go pro right now and wipe up the floor with people. So I know I have potential, but I'm not quite there yet. I just want to keep training and get a lot better.
What is your let's see, because MMA, you have all these martial arts mixed together. What is your foundation? Maybe because we know a lot of fighters will come from wrestling and that's their thing, or they don't wrestle at all and they just like to stand and strike. What is your what's your background with that?
Yeah, well, I certainly try to be well-rounded, but there's no secret about it that striking is really my base. I was at a phenomenal boxing gym over in Mississippi. I was working one-on-one with the trainer who had some time coaching with Floyd Sr., and he taught me just about everything I know for striking. And I was obsessed with it. I love jiu-jitsu. I love taking people down, but that really just sort of fostered my love for martial arts even more, and I've really focused on the striking. So I mean, I'm purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I'm getting better at that every day. I'm also obsessed with that, but there's no better feeling in the world than knocking somebody out.
Right. Oh man, I don't even know what that would feel like. That would be amazing. So before doing MMA, did you compete in any like Muay Thai or kickboxing?
No, not at all. I've done one jiu-jitsu tournament, and I've done one Muay Thai PKB, and that was after my first MMA fight. But really, all the martial arts I do are for the sake of mixed martial arts. I really love the combined aspect.
That's cool. So you tell us about this injury that you had. Supposedly you had an injury and then went and fought and ended up with a win, or how did that go?
Yeah. So I've had this sort of nagging injury in my knee forever. In the past, I've torn my left meniscus, and early last year, I felt like a pain in my right knee this time. And so both knees were kind of jeopardized. I didn't get help right away because it started to feel better. And then, a few months later, it hurt again. I had a fight for Valley Fight Series in August, and I won that one. And then shortly after, I went back to training and ended up just throwing a kick and had a pretty bad pop. And,
man.
Was limping on that for about 3 weeks. And at that time, the fight was already scheduled. So, I was contemplating, like, do I take the fight? Do I not? I was like, screw it. I want to fight. I'm sure I could fight through this. It's just going to make the preparation hard. And so I just started taking it easy for the first couple days back, and just tried to be extra careful. Making weight was hard because I couldn't run. I pretty much had to do all my weight cut on, in the sauna or on a stationary bike. So the game plan was really just don't kick because I'm going to hurt my leg. Just keep the hands busy. He's not going to know the game plan. So we get in the cage. I'm not thinking about the knee. I don't want to just bring attention to it. I don't want it to start hurting. I don't want to have that mental block. He went for a takedown. He almost got it. I got right back up, started throwing the hands, and 40 seconds into the fight, I ended up connecting with a right hand a few times in a row and got the TKO on the feet. And so I left that thinking, like, perfect. That could not have gone better. My knee was not jeopardized. I have surgery 2 days from now. So I can take my break like I wanted to anyway, except now I'll be doing it while I'm able to recover. So yeah, sure enough, right after that Saturday, I went in for surgery to get that knee fixed on a Tuesday, and just got cleared for that as of Friday.
Wow. So even that finish that you got would probably be somebody's like ultimate game plan without an injury.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that was pretty cool how that worked out. It's crazy. I was going to ask you something else. Oh, about your weight cut for that. You said it was difficult, of course, because you couldn't run, because I guess you like to run. Was it more of a struggle to cut that weight, or did you manage to do it in the same amount of time as you would as if you were running?
I would say it was about the same amount of time. It just wasn't as enjoyable. I do like running. I feel like the weight probably comes off a little easier. And, when it's nice out here in California, I like to just, get up, outside on a Saturday afternoon or whatever and go for a nice run in the woods. And instead I was sitting in a gym on a bike, just watching the clock click down from 60 minutes.
Oh, man.
It was boring, but at the end of the day, I got it done.
Now, for your weight class, have you ever had any huge struggles with? Is your weight cut pretty bad, or is this somewhere where you're comfortable at?
It's a huge cut. I'm not gonna lie, but I love the division. I'm 6 foot, so I can pretty much go into lightweight expecting to be the taller person and having the range advantage, and that's really fun to plan around. I like striking, so that's always something I look forward to. With that said, here in California, we do have same-day weigh-ins, and so I've thought about 170 more and more, but I've never had any health issues making 155, and it really does feel like my home.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's quite an advantage to be able to be the bigger person and not have too bad of a weight cut. Because I know there's not that break between 155 and 170. Is that correct for amateur, I believe? Or
yeah, that's correct, and that's all the way up to pro too. It's just
so that's like UFC weight classes, basically.
Right.
I know a lot of people have grievances with the fact that there's not a 165 weight class for UFC, but in it is a big jump, but I've always felt like there would be too many weight classes, I think, and like maybe everyone should just
It'd be
find
too much
their
like boxing with all the weight classes.
Right,
it's so
right.
many, man. I don't. And then there's belts everywhere, you know, because there's just so many weight classes. I don't know. I like the weight classes the way they are. I know, and I'm not a guy. I'm not 165, but so I don't know what that would feel like. Maybe it would be a lot better for them. I just think there'd be a lot more weight classes, and it might be a lot of guys always cross over anyways with their weight classes. Now you're gonna. I feel like there's gonna be guys crossing over like 3 times, 3 different weight classes because they can, you know, and just hold like 3 belts. And I don't know. I'm not into that. I kind of like the way that they are. So that's cool that you can do that and fight the 155ers. So what is next for you? I know you said you got to get over that injury and everything, but what's your timeline plan?
Yeah, well, we're in the talks with about 4 different people. Like I said, out of nowhere, my phone just sort of has been blowing up with different opportunities. And so now me and my coach are just trying to pick one. We're planning to sort of come to a decision by the end of this weekend. So right now I can't say for sure, but I will be back within the next couple months and plan to fight a lot and be active this year.
Now, are you looking for a fight further out so you can get, you know, back into training and have a good camp?
Yeah, I obviously I want a good camp. Even though I've been out with an injury, you know, I've been eating pretty good and I've been doing what I can with what wasn't injured. And so I feel like I'm in shape. I was just sparring yesterday and, you know, I was where I expected to be. So, you know, can I fight this weekend or next weekend? Wouldn't it be reasonable? But, you know, I'm not going to intentionally push something off just for a you know, more time.
That's good. Well, I'm glad there's not any like more permanent damage, you know, in the knees, because I have a bad knee and that thing's been haunting me since high school. I manage it, but it's not fun. Like I have one leg that's smaller than the other because I just can't get it back to where my other one was.
Oh, no.
So I understand that kind of pain. It's super irritating. I've had like a few injuries on the same knee and a surgery, and it's just like I feel like it's gone to shit. But when you do come back to fight, are you looking to a fight right at the top, or are you still trying to just work your way through? I know that you already have the title. Are you going for that automatically already right out the gate?
Who knows? I just want the experience. So, you know, any opportunity I can get, you know, inside the cage to just work on some things that I want to work on, I'll probably take. I'm not going to be picky with opponents. You know, if one thing comes up, I'm not going to deny him for something better necessarily. Yeah, I'm really not picky right now.
That's good. James, do you have anything else? I had a question and I totally forgot, so you go ahead.
All right. Are there any fighters that inspire you? Is there anybody you saw and you were like, you know what, I want to model my style after them?
Yeah, a large handful actually. Not some very famous people, but you know, at least watching UFC, some of the current fighters really like motivate me. And one of them is Gunnar Nelson. He's just got some of the slickest jiu-jitsu I've ever seen. Yeah, he does. And when he gets on top, you can pretty much predict the fight ending in 2 minutes. And that's just like, as a striker, even I get like super inspired by that. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go work on my jiu-jitsu more. And then for the striking, I'm sure it's probably the most common, but I love Conor McGregor, at least old Conor McGregor's stance and footwork. He was just so smooth and fluid. And from the first time I watched him fight against Marcus Brimage, he was so light on his feet. He was moving backwards, but still landing these huge uppercuts. And I'm just like, wow, that is beautiful. That is martial arts. That he's not just some gritty fighter. He is a skilled artist. And I was like, that's what I want to be. I don't want to be a fighter. I want to be a martial artist.
That's cool. Gunnar Nelson. I don't hear that a lot from fighters.
Anybody.
Like who they look up to. Gunnar Nelson. Like he's been around for a while, and I feel like nobody talks about him.
Yeah, he you know, he's had some unfortunate losses that have probably would have been his breakthrough fights, but anytime he's on, I I cancel all my plans so I can watch him.
So Conor McGregor and Gunnar Nelson, is there anybody else that comes to mind that really stands out to you? Even past fighters that aren't even fighting anymore, but whoever.
Well, I guess we could start with what got me into it, and that was watching Anderson Silva back in the day. I saw his fight against Forrest Griffin, and that's when I realized, there's like real life ninjas out there. He was slipping punches from Forrest Griffin that it just blew my mind. I was like, this is incredible. This is something you'd see in a superhero movie. I didn't even know this was possible to fight this way.
That era of fighting when you had all those guys was so amazing. And I got into watching UFC like shortly before those fighters were really big or just getting really big. Those were some really, really exciting fights. And me and James talk about how, all the fighters now they're different fighters now because you have all these fighters coming in, but they also fight differently now. I don't want to say they have more talent. They're all talented, but these guys are very technical. It's like right out of the gate, they have all that experience because now you have kids getting into it that might not have done that before. And like, you said, Forrest Griffin, he's a real tough guy, so his fight, you might not see a lot of fancy stuff, but he's going to make it through the whole fight, or he's at least willing to die in there. Yeah. So that era, it was very, very exciting when Anderson Silva was in his prime, and you had all those guys, Chuck Liddell, and that era was really, really inspiring. And also you have all those heavyweights that came in after that, which was really, really entertaining also. I was hooked after seeing all that.
Yeah, no, it was a great time back then, but honestly, I like the way the sport is now. I feel like it really is evolving. People nowadays are no longer neglecting jiu-jitsu for their boxing or vice versa. You're seeing well-rounded people. Yeah, you really can't.
You can't get away with it.
Yeah, you can't, but yeah, nowadays it is just like we were just talking about Charles Oliveira. I love his game because he's so well-rounded. His striking is phenomenal.
He's great. He's someone that has also been around for a while, and now we're just finally seeing what this guy is made of. Finally, because I was a fan of him back then also, but now seeing him, well, besides the drama today, he had the title, but to see him get that belt and what he had to do to get it, and that he never gave up. He already had a long career in the UFC, and now he's just now at his prime, which is crazy because you would have thought that would have been a while ago. But it's just crazy to see how the longevity of those guys too. But the talent is so, I don't know if you ever watched those Ultimate Fighter, that reality show that they have on. They have those tryouts, and just everyone that's there seems like they're already, they already have what it takes to even compete with them. Like, I think it's crazy that, I feel like you don't really see someone that doesn't know what they're doing when they're on that show now, because back then you would see like, oh, who's this guy? Get him out of here type of thing. And now everyone is just like fighting, like to really get that contract. And like, they're so talented. I think it's a good evolution. I think back in the day, it was pretty exciting too. So it's like, you got both. I think you needed that era back then to get everyone enticed to watch what it is now. And that's why I think it's so big now. But for amateurs also, that makes it so hard because these guys can go pro at, any time, and you're just there getting experience. So, you kind of have to be on their level too. So I think it's way more intense nowadays. And I think there's a lot more being put on the line now because they're not looking for guys to join UFC. There's people fighting to get in there, and they will kill to get in there.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, that's very true. And yeah, like with the evolution, there's no longer just tough guys. There are tough guys who are athletes, and that's just a dangerous combination.
Like Kamaru Usman. He's I feel like he's more than just a fighter. He is an athlete. I feel like you put him in any sport and he will just perform well.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's doing well for that reason. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. So, talking about Charles Oliveira. So I'm sure most of the people watching know he didn't make weight. He was stripped of his title today.
For 0.5 pounds.
For 0.5 pounds. So tomorrow night's fight, will basically only be for Justin Gaethje. If he wins, he becomes champ. If he loses, he does not become champion. And this has happened a few times before, but
has it?
I'm taking Gaethje. It's happened before in a title fight. A guy, I forgot, I can't recall who offhand. I know it's happened though because it's so weird that you have a title fight, but only one person is eligible for said title. So
what a waste.
Yeah, it's like, all right. I mean, the card still looks good for a pay-per-view card, but it just doesn't have that oomph because you don't have the title fight for like, I mean, Oliveira could just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go in there, let him punch me in the face once and be done. I doubt it, he's gonna go in there and fight. Yeah. But what's his motivation?
I don't know. That's so strange. So, but as a champ, do you not get that do you have to be exactly on weight? I know people weigh in like a pound over and they're fine, but is it because it's a title that they take that away from you?
I'm not quite sure.
I don't remember ever seeing this. Really.
I just know that when people haven't weighed in on point, then if the champions have been stripped or have been not like if it was if the title was just up for grabs, if the title was vacant, this guy says title fights are scratch weight. There you go. That was from Jesus or Jesus. I'm not sure the pronunciation, so I'm just going with both.
I think it tastes good.
Hey, you never know. Some dudes are named Jesus, so I'm just saying. That's why I say either or. Thanks for commenting, man. But as it pertains to that, I've seen where the title was up for grabs, but one of the guys didn't make weight, so it was legitimately only for the other guy if he won.
I don't like that. You know what else I don't like is how they would give a belt off of a disqualification too.
Okay, talking about Aljamain Sterling.
I know.
Yeah,
it's just
we're not the biggest fans.
What's up with these weird rules for the champs? It's like, I don't know. It's a little backwards to me.
Oliveira is also losing a percentage of his purse too because of that.
Oh man, well that sucks. But the rest of the card is going to be pretty good though too.
That's true. Peter, we were talking about a little bit before the show. Tell us some of your thoughts on the fights that are going to be coming up. Uh-oh, I think he's frozen.
Oh,
there he is.
There we go. I think I lost you guys for a second, but I'm back. We're good.
All right. So with the Oliveira fight being kind of relatively not pulled, but only going in favor of Gaethje, tell us your thoughts on the Carla Esparza Thug Rose fight.
You're asking me that?
Yeah. What do you think of that title fight, and who do you pick?
Yeah, I got Rose by knockout. I think her striking is really clean, and it's only been looking better and better. I actually think that was a pretty clear pick for me. I see her getting it done.
Yeah, and they had already fought once, and Esparza won that one, but that was not the same Rose that is the champion today. She's on a whole other level, and of course, Carla Esparza, I believe, is just the next one for to fight for the title. I don't see her winning at all. I don't.
All right. I'll be honest. I picked Carla Esparza. Just saying.
No, you don't.
That's who I picked. Yeah, what? I do.
Really?
Yeah, I'm picking her to win. I also picked Gaethje because it's kind of pointless to pick Oliveira. And then
I picked Oliveira actually.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's not like he can win the belt.
I know. That's insane. God damn it.
All right. Now we got Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson.
Michael Chandler, I think he's definitely got that.
I got Chandler on that one.
Yeah. I do too. That's who I got.
Yeah, Tony Ferguson, I don't know what's up with him or who's going to show up to fight because, the last few were like, nothing nothing too impressive. Like maybe some more disappointment. I wonder if he's got like some new motivation or something. I don't know. I think for sure Michael Chandler will get it though, just because the level he's on right now.
And then we got Shogun.
Wow.
Against OSP. I was talking about that earlier.
There,
I'm like, I love Shogun, and we've talked about it before. I love Shogun, but no, man. Like, no, I feel like this is not going to be good. I feel like this is going to be all bad.
Maybe. I don't know. OSP is off and on all the time, so I don't know. I like OSP. I always hope he wins. He's just, I've seen him not win, and I'm just like, oh, kind of lost it there for him. But I think this fight's just gonna be fun to watch.
It should be. I really hope Shogun comes in and
man, me too.
Just destroys. That's me.
I hope so too.
What do you think, Peter?
Yeah, Shogun's a legend. I remember watching him back in the day too, but I just have a feeling OSP is going to overwhelm him.
All right. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen, but I hope not. I just want to see Shogun win because I like Shogun. That's it. No professional thought put into that at all.
Fair enough.
And then we got Donald Cerrone versus Joe Lozon.
Wow.
Joe Lozon, I feel like he hasn't fought in a minute.
I thought he already retired, actually. I guess not. But I don't know. This is another fun fight. Donald Cerrone. I always like to see him win. It's just, lately, I don't know. I don't expect him to do anything crazy. I know that he can. I just haven't seen it in a while. And Joe Lozon's been around probably just as long as Donald Cerrone has. I don't know what kind of level he's at right now, but I think this is just another fun fight to watch.
Peter, what are your thoughts?
I picked Joe Lozon, I think.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start with this one. It's been so long since I've seen Joe fight. Donald Cerrone, you never know what version of him you're gonna get.
Yeah.
But I'm if I'm picking favorites, I'm gonna go with Donald. I like his striking. When he's on, he's really on. He's fun to watch. So I'm gonna pick Donald.
He's got some really great head kicks from. I think he does this whole thing where he fakes a takedown, but actually just kicks him in the head instead. It's really crazy. It's really fast. I actually got to see it in person in Anaheim when he fought Robbie Lawler on one of it was the John Jones Cormier 2 fight card. So it was a really great fight card. But those two had a fight, and it was crazy. They were both almost mimicking each other too. It was so crazy. I forgot who won. Or Lawler won that one, but it was pretty close. But he would shoot in for a takedown, but just come up with a head kick, and he landed at least 4 or 5 times in that fight, and that was really exciting. I hope that's the version that comes out. That would be really fun to watch.
Okay, the way I look at it, if it's striking, Cerrone has the advantage. Joe Lozon has the advantage on the ground.
Yep.
I'm going to go Cerrone. I hope we see Donald Cerrone of old and cleans his clock. All right, let's see what we got on the prelims. Norma Dumont versus Macy Chassant. What is it, Kaelyn? Chassant. Thank you.
Yeah.
Before I stumble over it even more. We got them competing on the prelim, and then let's see what we got on the early prelims. A lot of people, I don't know.
Tracy Cortez is pretty good. I always like watching her fight.
She's competing against Melissa Gatto.
Yes, she's good too. I don't see a lot of. I wish I saw more of Tracy Cortez. She doesn't fight frequently, but she's pretty good. So I'm always interested in the women's division anyway. But she's one that I like to watch also.
Very true. Very true. Now, did you know Bellator's going on tonight?
I kind of did. I don't know who's fighting though.
Well, you do now.
Oh, no, you're right.
And Chet Congo versus Ryan Bader.
Again.
They're competing for the heavyweight world title. I feel like Bader's going to retain.
I think so. I I think I told you they fought already, but I think that first one ended in an eye poke. Because I think I was there. I was actually there in San Jose where they fought. I think I forgot who got poked. Someone got poked in like the first or second round, and the fight was over. So super disappointing. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But also Czech Congo, he's been around forever. But I think Ryan Bader will get this one.
I feel like Bader's wrestling is what's going to help him the most.
Yeah.
Because Congo's really, to me, really known for his kickboxing. And so if Bader goes to his bread and butter, I think he's just going to take him out.
Yeah, that's what I expect.
Who do you take, Peter?
Oh, man, I'm probably not the right person to ask. I think the last time I watched Ryan Bader was when he fought John Jones. So I'm way out of the loop on Bellator's side.
Yeah. He doesn't fight well. He was fighting pretty frequently in Bellator, but yeah, I didn't realize that's even where he went for the longest time.
Yeah.
Well, he did recently lose his light heavyweight title to Nemkov.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because he was a two-title, he did have two titles at the same time, light heavyweight and heavyweight. Now he only has the heavyweight, and that's what we got for the history of that. And then Yoel Romero is competing on the card against a guy I've never heard of. So to me, I take Romero.
Yeah, can't say no to think about Alex. I don't know who he is, but I always like seeing Yoel Romero fight. I hope he just does what he normally does. It's exciting. I like it.
Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Now, there is also, I want to say Kayla Harrison is also competing tonight.
MPFL?
If not tonight, yeah. Not quite sure. I didn't see anything on that.
Yeah, I've been seeing some
she might be
headlines about her, and I feel like they just keep going on and on about how, she needs to fight like Cyborg or Nunes, all these girls that are in other organizations. And it's like, I don't think it's going anywhere. I think she's where she wants to be. She gets paid the most there. I don't think Dana White's, or he was interested, but I don't think he really wanted to fork out the money for her. So I think that's why she ultimately stayed with PFL. But I guess we could all dream, right? I don't know what's going to happen with her. I would like to see her fight, I don't even know about Cyborg. I mean, she's a legend, but I don't expect anything from her anymore, really. Like, I think she's done what she can do, which was great.
I have to agree with that.
I'm kind of waiting to see who's next in those divisions because it's they're bigger girls. That I think Kayla fights at like 155. I don't know how many times she's done 145, but I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like it spreads so thin with women, especially in those weight classes. They are a little bit heavier. Normally, you got to be a little more either taller or thicker, built differently. I would like to see her fight Cyborg just for the fun of it. But as far as like talent matching with hers, for like current day, I don't know where someone like that would go. I think it was smart for her to stay with PFL because she gets paid, I think you get paid out $1 million for those tournaments.
For the wins, yeah, in the tournament, yeah.
That's pretty good for a female MMA fighter to get paid that much. I don't know exactly what you take home after that, after however much of it you have to give away to other people that help you. But
taxes, and then there's
coaches,
managers, agents, trainers.
Yeah. So
now,
I don't
Peter,
know.
do you have
like
a favorite?
Talking about it, I don't know what they're going to do about it though.
Peter, do you have a favorite female fighter?
Yeah, it's still Nunes, even after her last loss. I'm still to this day astounded that happened.
Are you not sold on Pena yet?
I'm not. To me, Amanda Nunes just looked off. I don't know what happened.
It's the first time that she hasn't gotten it done, so it's really interesting.
Yeah. I would have gone with I think the betting odds were just ridiculously in favor of Amanda Nunes, and to me that made sense. And I would have picked Amanda Nunes to win that 100 times out of 100. And she ended up losing, and I was mind blown.
Yeah, I was really surprised, but we'll see what happens later. I think both of them are coaching Ultimate Fighter right now, so they are going to fight again whenever that's done. I think well, Juliana Pena is good. She's definitely good. And I think she deserved that title shot and that title that night. I'm just anxious to see her fight more girls. I wish I would have seen her fight more girls before Nunes, because you can get a better feel of how good she actually is. I think she's really good. I think she's really tough. We'll see how the next fight goes, but I don't know. Pena could be the new Nunes. I don't know, but she's very good right now. I just don't know what happened to Nunes. I hope it was just, I have a feeling it was just a distraction of her life is evolving. She's got kids now and stuff like that. So maybe that was like, maybe she was distracted or something. I don't know. I guess we'll find out later when they fight.
That's
again.
my conjecture as well. Yeah.
I feel mean for not being sold on Pena, because she's like, dude, I'm the one, blah, blah, blah. But, and she did back it up. Like, she did do what she said she was going to do.
She did win the fight.
Should be exciting. I don't know, but I'm not sold yet, so we'll see.
No, I agree. It's almost like the Aljamain Sterling thing. We're not sold on him, but that's different circumstances. But we're not sold on him. Yeah, Pena has proven herself, but she needs to rack up some more wins. I feel like, at least in a devastating fashion, that to really be like, oh wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, I listened to her on a podcast a while back. I think it must have been Joe Rogan's, where she explained the history of her. She was supposed to fight Nunes a long time ago, and she ended up having a kid, so it kind of put everything on pause. But she was in line for the title a long time ago. No one knew about that, because she actually deserved it at the time as well. So when she came back, I think they ultimately gave her that chance again, and she backed it up. So I don't know. I guess we'll never know what it should have been a while back, but she might be the new Nunes. I don't know. I'm not sold yet. I like her. She's great too.
I don't think she's the new Nunes at all.
No?
No.
Not at all?
No, she might rattle off a couple wins, but I don't think she's going to be at all dominant compared to what we had in Nunes.
Right. I think you're right. We'll see. But yeah, that's kind of where my thoughts are too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, time will tell, but yeah, Nunes looked unstoppable there for a good while. And it's her only,
it's like her first loss. And a lot of people are writing her off. I'm like, dude, it happened once. Like, give her a break.
Right.
That's why I think it would be great if Harrison moved into the UFC, but she re-signed with PFL, so
I think Harrison would beat Nunes. I do think that. I think she's bigger.
Oh my god, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think she would judo toss her, and that's a wrap.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Maybe we'll get to see that fight. I don't know.
Now, are there any... Okay, for you, Peter, if you could pick to see a fight, like any fighter from any generation, like a dream fight, what would that be?
Oh, man, that's going to be hard to pick on the spot.
There's so many.
There really is. Yeah, I remember there was one time where people were sort of trying to get John Jones and Anderson Silva to happen, but in my opinion, John Jones is the greatest of all time, and growing up, Anderson Silva inspired me so much. And in Anderson's prime, I would have loved to see it, but I still see Jones getting the better of that, most of the time. But just the hype and the buildup and seeing two legends in there, that would have been something to see. Yeah.
Did you like that fight against Anderson Silva and Adesanya? I thought that was a pretty great fight also that actually happened.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I thought Anderson did better than I expected him to.
Yeah, he did.
there wasn't a finish. He made it all 3 rounds with Izzy. So hats off to him for that.
I've always loved, BS aside, I've always loved John Jones. I always root for him. I don't care what's going on with him and his issues, but he's always been a great fighter. I'm always a fan of his. A lot of people hate him now, but he's never lost though, well, maybe.
He has to the court system.
Well, yeah, but we haven't really seen him get beat up though. You know what I mean? Like finished. So I think you still have to acknowledge him. And I wonder what's gonna happen next to them. I heard he's gonna come and possibly fight heavyweight, which he's been saying for a long time now. But
him versus Stipe is supposed to be in the works.
Oh, Stipe, that's right. I think that would be a great fight. I think he would kill Stipe, to be honest. Even though Stipe, it was great, but I think John Jones would win that one. But I don't know. We never know. But anything with John Jones, I think, is a pretty good fight.
Agreed.
Now, Kaelyn, for you, what's your fight that you would like to see a dream fight?
I don't even know. There's so many fighters, past and present. I don't know. I guess it would depend on weight classes. I don't know. I actually always really enjoy Israel Adesanya. Come to think of it, it's just, his fights are always really, really exciting. But against who? I don't know. I really don't know. I can't answer that question. There's way too many.
I'm super old school, so you guys ready for this? Tito Ortiz versus Quentin Jackson.
Wait, you want them to fight back in the day or right now?
Oh, back in the day, not now. Oh, God. I'm not trying to watch elderly people fight. Are you crazy?
I know. It takes
All right,
a whole minute
here's
to get
some
that
more.
leg up.
Here's some more. Frank Shamrock versus Ken Shamrock.
Oh, yeah, well.
I always thought that would be crazy because Frank Shamrock would kill Ken Shamrock. And then I got one for grappling. Royce Gracie versus Jean LaBelle. Now, okay, do you guys know who Jean LaBelle is?
I don't. I do not.
He's a judo guy. Literally, he's in his like late 80s, 90s, still scary as shit. I'd say hi to him and probably pee myself. The dude is like legit. They said Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet. Well, clearly they've never really seen Jean LaBelle. That dude was bad. So I think in a grappling match, him versus Royce Gracie would be so awesome to see. Not now with Jean LaBelle, but in their prime.
Yeah,
back in the day. So those are my thoughts on the dream fight.
There's just too many for me to choose. I'd have to think about it for like a week, and I'll get back to you.
All right, we'll do that then. I'll try to remember that.
Next Friday.
I expect a response.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, Peter, is there anybody that you want to shout out?
Oh yeah, I got so many people I got to thank. Starting with the obvious, my coach, Mario Reyes is he's unbelievably busy with our team. He has his Muay Thai team and then he has his MMA team. So he will be pretty much, 5 hours either north or south of home pretty much every weekend. For my last title fight, that was on a Saturday. The night before, he was in San Diego for one of my buddy's Muay Thai fights, and he ended up flying over, getting 3 hours of sleep to make it in time for my fight. So he's just unbelievably supportive. He's always helping people, right there in the corner. I was just cornering with him for Joe Palacios fight a couple weeks back, and he does everything he can to make fights happen, to be there in person, to prepare us. And it's just amazing how busy he stays to make everything happen. Then my jiu-jitsu coach as well, Chris Ruiz, he's like a brother to me. He's just always, willing to work with me one-on-one. He's been just so helpful with getting private sessions in, getting small groups together to train. All my training partners, Joe Palacio being one of them, he's a big, scary dude, and sparring with him makes me less afraid of anybody in the cage because you just can't get any scarier than that guy. and Jason as well, he's fighting for VFS May 28th, and he's just so quick, such a positive person, fun person to be around. My girlfriend Jessica, she's my, when I'm cutting weight, she's my chauffeur, my safety guide. She's been my masseuse, and there's just too many people to thank. But those ones specifically, really got to give a big shout out to.
Now, one other question I have is, do you plan on collecting belts like almost like a Thanos where he collected the Infinity Stones? You're just going to collect belts because you've already got a Valley Fight Series title. I mean, do you hope to get a 559 Fights title and a MMA Fight Pass Cage Fights title? Like, what is that one of the goals?
Hey, the more the merrier. I have no objection to that. Yeah, I'll see how many I can get.
Awesome. All right, Peter, thank you for joining us, man. It's been great having you on, and we look forward to hearing about when your next fight is, because we'd love to have you back and talk
let us
about
know.
that.
Absolutely. I'll be into that. Thank you guys for your time.
All right. Thanks a lot, Peter. Have a good one.
All right. Take care.
All right. Now another solid guest. And I still can't believe. Yeah, I am too. I'm glad
I'm impressed
got
about
cleared
the
today
injuries and the timeline of coming back. I'm like, that's impressive.
And to win, he won a belt too. He's like, I'm injured. I'll fight. 40 seconds later, oh look, I got a belt.
Yeah.
Now time to go fix this injury.
Yeah, I wish it was that easy. I don't know. I'm interested to see where he goes. He has a pretty good record.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to ask. I was wondering about all his wins. Like, what were they? I know he got that knockout, but I was curious if.
Well, we'll have to ask him when we bring him back on.
Totally forgot. Interested.
Now, I'm curious to see how the Oliveira fight shakes out tomorrow with only Gaethje being eligible.
That was so disappointing to read this morning that not only did he miss weight, but they took his belt.
Right? He's like, it's like he gets to wave at the belt, like,
that's heartbreaking to have already lost the belt and not even fought for it yet.
I don't think they should have stripped him.
No, I don't think so.
Until after. So you have him fight. If he loses, then strip. I
would think that if he wins the fight, he should have it. I think he should.
That's a catch-22.
0.5 pounds. Oh, so close. You know.
That does suck.
Yeah, and that sucks.
And
I bet Gaethje's like, I got this.
I was gonna beat him anyways.
Oh no. Well, that was disappointing.
You know, by the way, go Gaethje.
I like both of them.
Esparza.
You know, but man, Esparza's not gonna win this fight. I don't think she's gonna win.
Gaethje. Okay, going back real quick. Gaethje.
I could be wrong. I could be very wrong, and I'd be shocked. But I don't think she's gonna win.
With Esparza, take down. Just like,
Rose?
What? Take down.
Yeah, man. I think Rose is on a whole other level.
Until she's not. Yeah, until Esparza changes levels, shoots, either single or double, puts her on her back.
Okay, we'll see.
Ground and pound.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't care who. Like, honestly, I say Esparza just because y'all are like, oh, Thug Rose. Oh, she's so great. I'm like, no.
Well,
but either way, I hope it's a phenomenal fight because if Rose retains, I'm not mad at that. I want to see a great performance.
Yeah. God, do you think it's gonna be $100 for this fight?
Is that how much it is?
I don't know. There was last time. There was like a few titles on the line though last time, you know. Which,
dear people that pirate these things, if you guys could take off some of the ads, that'd be super helpful because some of us don't want to pay these crazy prices for this.
$100 for
just
UFC,
being honest,
dude. Oh, that just makes me want to stream it. Like, that's so bad for business.
People still buy into it. If you can get a group of people to pay so much,
because streaming actually really sucks. It really does suck. It doesn't work out a lot.
That's how I used to watch fights back in the day. I won't lie.
I used to stream a lot, and it just wasn't that good. I actually just bought it. I was like, okay, if it's a good fight card, I'm gonna buy it because I don't want my screen like freezing mid punch. Like, it could be a knockout.
Yeah,
it's happened before.
Especially that always happened to me during the main event. I'm all, what? No.
And maybe it's because way more people are tuned in, and maybe that's what slows it down a bit. But I don't know.
Who's sucking up the bandwidth?
The most important times end up glitching, and it's just at the end I'm like, I should have just bought it because I would have avoided all those issues and got to watch it all smooth, no worries. But $100,
that's steep.
Too much.
See, when I was streaming it back in the day, I would look at my wallet like I should buy it, and I'd be like, Nope, can't afford it. All right.
I like how we thought
is-
that it was expensive back then.
I know.
My God.
And it has not gotten any better.
I'd gladly pay $50 for UFC. That's fine.
Same.
75? Oh, that's like, I got to think about it. 100? That's a hard no.
Yeah, hard pass.
Hard pass. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, we talked about the fights. We talked about UFC. We talked about Bellator. Looks like that's about it for us. So we're going to see you guys next time. And yeah, that's it. Bye.